Well, hello out there. It's author T.M. Brown, and welcome back to the next reading from my first book, A Life Not My Own. I'm so excited that you guys continue to join me on this journey. And we're getting really close to the end of the story, so I hope you will continue to follow me. My intent is to share more with you than you'd experience if you read my story on your own. And you may decide that you want to read along with me, which I think would be really cool. So feel free to grab yourself a copy of my book at my website, www.authortmbrown.com. You know, even if we're finished with the podcast, you can always still grab yourself a copy and start from the beginning, the first episode, and work your way through the book with me, reading the contents of the story with you. As you listen to the podcast, you know, you may have questions about a particular segment. So please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is tm.brown35@yahoo.com. We started with the very first page, and like I said, we're getting close to being finished with the book. Are you ready? We are currently on page 117, and let me tell you, readers, things are about to get hot. The drive back to my apartment was relatively quiet. We both knew that this night wasn't going to end with saying goodnight at the door. Would you like to listen to some music, I said, not knowing what else to say. I had never entertained a man in my own apartment before, and I wasn't exactly sure what to say or do. Readers, this was my first apartment on my own. I had lived a lot of places with the guy that I called him, but never anything that really belonged to me. I wanted him to be comfortable and not feel as if he was infringing on my privacy. Sure. What do you have? He said as he entered the living room and walked towards the stereo. Hey, Luther, all right, he said, placing the tape in the cassette player and joining me on the sofa. Yeah, readers, I know, a cassette player. We're talking about in the 80s, and that's what I had. And I thought it was the coolest thing that I had these big old speakers and my stereo system. This has been a very nice birthday. Thank you, Tina, he said. You're very welcome. I wanted it to be special for you, something that you would remember. Oh, and it has been. Thank you, he said again as he placed the back of his hand on my cheek. I will remember this birthday for a long time, he said as he kissed me on my cheek. That is exactly what I was shooting for. I sat very still. I was so nervous that I could feel my heart racing. I wondered if he knew how nervous I was. I wanted him so badly, but I didn't want to rush this moment. I wanted to take it slow, to feel his every touch. It had been a long time since I had been with a man, and I wanted this to be special. Special because he was special to me. Special because I needed it to be. He began by kissing my face, then my neck, then my lips. I was kissing him back, first softly and then more intensely. It was becoming hard to catch my breath. Tina, I want you. I want to make love to you, he said in between the kisses. I want you too. I took his hand and led him to my bedroom. We were standing at the bedroom door kissing passionately. He was unbuttoning my jacket, caressing my breasts and kissing my neck. He was so tall. I was standing on my toes and stretching my neck up as far as I could just to reach his lips. My body was shaking uncontrollably. Are you sure you want to do this? I care about you, You know that, don't you? He said. Yes, I know that, I said, holding on to him as I tried to catch my breath. I want to be with you. I want you so much, he said. We were lying on the bed now. Somehow we had managed to remove our clothes. I could feel his strong body against mine. I felt so tiny in comparison to him. We lay there for what seemed like hours, caressing one another, exploring every inch of our bodies. Then we began to kiss again. This was a man who enjoyed the art of lovemaking. He made me feel as if I were floating above the bed with every movement of our bodies. His every response guided me in pleasing him. There was no need for words. I felt sexy and alive in his arms. You are incredible. That was incredible, he said, kissing me as we lay in my bed. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine, I smiled, kissing him softly on the lips and moving away from him slightly. And where do you think you're going? I was going to the bathroom, I said. Not yet, you're not, he said, pulling me down to the bed. I'm not finished with you yet. It's my birthday, remember? It was nice to finally have a man in my life that respected me and made me feel safe and wanted. Whenever Victor and I were together, I felt cared for and happy. He had lots of interests and was very comfortable with who he was. Our relationship was good for me. He treated me as an equal. There was a balance between our mutual and individual interests. We spent quiet moments together, but we also enjoyed being with mutual friends, going to the movies, dancing, and sightseeing. Our relationship was fun, and I loved being with him no matter what we were doing or where we went. The intimacy that we shared was absolutely incredible, both physically and emotionally. I tried very hard to hold my feelings back from him. It made me nervous to think that I felt love for him. Love had never lasted for me in the past, but I still didn't know how to detach myself from the need for love. We were sitting in my living room watching TV when we first approached the subject of love. Victor, what are we doing? I asked. We've been seeing each other for a few months now, and I really don't know how to describe what it is that we have. I really don't know what to call what we have, he said. I know that I care deeply for you. I know that I enjoy the time we spend together, and I don't want it to end, he said. Do you think that there is a future for us? I said, taking a deep breath. This was unknown territory, and it made me nervous. What kind of future are you talking about, Tina? He said softly. If you mean marriage or something, you know that I've been there before, and I don't know about that for us yet. I always thought that I would know when the time and the person was right, and I don't see that for us yet, Tina. Why are you asking me about this now? He asked. Well, based on what you said, I feel a little stupid saying any more, I said, lowering my head. My feelings were hurt, and I was disappointed. I had hoped for more. Tina, wait a minute. I thought you were just asking a question. Are you trying to tell me something? He asked. Yes, I think so. I'm not the kind of woman who can separate my body from my heart. I took it slow with you because I didn't want to be hurt again. I wanted to see the real you without the blinders that I think that I've had in the past. I think that I see you for the person that you really are, and I like what I see very much. In the past, that has been a problem for me. You know, seeing people as they really are. Well, what I'm trying to say is I I have love in my heart for you. I took another deep breath and waited for his response. That is the sweetest thing anyone has said to me in a long time. I think that in time, I could feel the same for you too. You are very important to me, and I want us to continue seeing each other, he said. I couldn't believe his response. In time? What did that mean? Suddenly, it was very quiet in the room. I thought that something more was happening with us, but I guess I was wrong. He was shying away from even the idea of an emotional commitment. The first mention of feelings, and he was running away. Well, I guess I should be leaving now, he said. Tomorrow's the beginning of another week, and I still need to do a couple of things. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you later, I said as we kissed goodbye at the door. After Victor left, I replayed in my mind what had just happened and tried to make sense of it. Maybe I was just kidding myself. I felt stupid. I was so stupid. What in the hell was I doing wrong? I was so sure about him. I thought that he felt what I felt, or at least something similar. I was so tired of giving myself only to be rejected. It had to be me. What was I doing wrong? Had we become intimate too soon? In my mind, we were both adults, and I thought that we had waited an acceptable amount of time. I didn't feel that I had to be madly in love with a man to have intimacy, but I did hope that in time the love would grow as we continued in our relationship. Now, after his response, I felt the need to slow this thing down. Victor called me the following week, inviting me to go on a camping trip with him in Italy. He was on a baseball team on base, and his team had made it to a tournament that was taking place there. Part of me wanted to say no. What was I to him? Some convenient thing? What the hell? I'd go. I had never been to Italy. By the way, I'm going home for a visit, but when I come back, I'd like to talk some more about us, okay? He said. Tina, I really care about you, and I don't want to hurt you, but I want to always be honest with you, he said. When are you leaving? I said, ignoring the second portion of his statement. Next week. I'll be gone for about a week or so. I've got a few months before the tournament in Italy, so we've got plenty of time to plan for the trip, okay? Okay. I'll miss you while I'm away, he said. Will you miss me? Of course I will, I said. I wasn't sure. You've been a little distant since our conversation last week. I still didn't respond. Are you still there? He asked. I felt stupid. I didn't know what to say. Tears were running down my face, and I didn't want to speak for fear that he would hear how hurt I was. Okay, then. I'll call you when I get back, he said. See you. I missed him so much when he was gone. I really didn't understand why I constantly kept making the same mistakes with guys. I honestly thought that he and I had something special. He was my friend and my lover. Hey, I just got back. How are you, Tina? I missed you. Can I come over? I need to see you, he said. How was your trip? I said, ignoring his request. The trip was fine, but I really need to see you, Tina. Can I come over? He asked again. I really wanted to see him too, but I felt that I was being taken for granted. Well, tomorrow is a pretty full day for me, and I need to get some rest, I lied. I won't stay long, he said. Okay, just for a little while, I said. I'm on my way, he said, hanging up the phone. What was this urgency to see me all about? He had been gone for more than a week and hadn't bothered to call me. And readers, I know this is a different age where, we didn't have cell phones and things like that like you guys have today, but we still had phones, and in my mind, there was no reason why he couldn't have picked up the phone at least once. We worked on the same base. If he really needed to talk to me, he could do it then. I was still very hurt and confused about our relationship. I didn't know what to say to him when he arrived. Hello, he said, hugging me in the doorway. Hi, I said. I led him to the sofa. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, I'm fine, I laughed. I lied. How was your trip? I asked. Tina, come here. He reached his hand out for mine as he sat on the sofa. My trip home gave me a chance to really think about us. I am so sorry. You caught me by surprise. I wasn't ready to answer your questions because honestly, Tina, I'm not sure about my feelings. Like you, I've been hurt before too. Putting your trust in someone, thinking that you'll be together forever, doesn't seem realistic to me. My ex and I were best friends too. I thought I knew her better than anyone alive, and things didn't work out between us. Now I have a son that's growing up without me, and I hate it. Tina, you are the sweetest woman that I know, but I'm just not ready for more than what we have right now, he said. I'm not sure if I can continue seeing you, I said. My feelings are involved now, and I don't like the way it feels. It feels way too familiar. You are right. You've always been honest with me, and I can't be mad at you for being honest now. But I know me. I can't pretend that I don't care about you and that what we have doesn't really mean anything to me. You really don't understand, do you, Tina? I'm not asking you to pretend. I have very strong feelings for you too, but I don't want to make promises to you about a future together that may not happen, he said. I'm not asking you to write anything in stone. And what's this very strong feeling stuff? Either you love me or you don't, I said. Maybe for some people, it's that cut and dry, but not for me, he said. I can say that I don't want to be with anyone else but you. I can say that I wouldn't like it if you were seeing anyone else. I can say that when we make love, it's incredible. Yes, I can say all of those things and know within myself that they are true. But it seems to me that you're looking for specific words, specific conditions that I'm not able to meet, he said. If that's the case, then where can we go from here, if anywhere? I asked. Wow. This is turning into an argument, and I didn't come here to argue with you, Tina. I wanted to tell you that your feelings and your happiness are very important to me. During the time that I was in the States, I could not get you off my mind. I could tell from your voice when we spoke last that you were hurting, and I do not want to be the cause of that. I don't know what our future holds, but I know that I want to be with you. Do you think you can accept that for right now? He asked. Victor, this is getting way too complicated. Half of what I'm feeling right now doesn't have a thing to do with you, and I know that. I'm so tied up in knots trying to ensure that I'm not hurt again, that even the smallest sign of something wrong between us sends me into a panic. Tears were running down my face, and for the first time I was crying openly in front of him. Maybe we should just back this thing up a little bit until I can think clearly, I said. What does that mean, Tina? You don't want to see me anymore? I just think that we need to slow it down some. I wasn't very good at this at all. I had never been in a position where I was the one backing off of a relationship before. Sounds to me like you're running away, he said. No, I don't think so, but I do need some space, I think. I stood up and walked towards the door. Opening it, I said goodnight. He leaned down to kiss me, as he had done many times before, but this time it felt like a final goodbye kiss. My work at the office was really starting to pick up, and there were rumors that the Post was downsizing. My supervisor called a meeting with everyone in our office and confirmed that indeed the installation was downsizing and that there would be a reduction in staff within our office. The civilian workers in our office were concerned about their jobs more than the military staff, of course. It might mean a change in assignment for us, but we would definitely not be out of jobs as they might be. I arrived at work early the next morning to find my supervisor standing at my desk waiting for me. I thought to myself, oh shit, what's going on here? Specialist, can we talk in my office, he said. Yes, sir, I said, walking towards his office, thinking, what's this all about? Have a seat. As you know, we are downsizing, and of course, some people will be reassigned. You have done a really good job here. I have been trying to find an appropriate assignment for you. If you would like to stay in the area, I think that I found something that matches your skills very nicely. There is a vacancy at 21st Replacement Battalion on Ryan Air Base as the 21st Theater Army Area Command Liaison. You would be meeting and assigning soldiers within the unit as they arrive in Germany and assigning them to units within the command. Is this something that you think you would like? I didn't have to think about this. The air base was nice, and I could continue to live in my apartment. I didn't have a car yet, but my supervisor assured me that transportation would not be a problem. I was scheduled to report to my new duty station the following month. I was so excited. I called Victor at his office. Hey, I have something that I want to talk to you about. Can you come over tonight? Is everything okay? He said. Yes, everything is fine. I know it's short notice, but I really need to talk to you. Okay, I'll see you tonight, he said. We hadn't been spending a lot of time together lately. Come to think of it, we hadn't spoken to each other at all for almost 3 weeks. My friends thought that I was doing the right thing to slow things down a bit with him. I had been spending more time with my friends and less time trying to figure out what was going on between him and me. But Frankfurt is not that big. It seemed as though every time that I went out with friends, I would bump into him. We were always cordial and never had dates, but it was still awkward. Now with the move, it seemed to make more sense to slow things down. Hello, he said, as he smiled as I opened the door. So you finally decided to call me. I was beginning to wonder if you had given up on me, he said. What are you talking about? I thought that we agreed. Well, let's not start that again. I've got something I want to talk to you about, I smiled, took his hand and led him to the sofa as usual. His hand felt warm in mine, and my mind began to fill with memories of the many passionate nights that we had shared. I've missed you, he said as he placed his hand on the back of my neck and kissed me. He was holding me so tightly I could barely breathe. What, what was he doing? I needed to talk to him. I want you right now, Tina, he said as he took my hand, leading me into the bedroom. It's been way too long since I made love to you, and I need you. He was undressing me, admiring and caressing my body with his hands and his eyes. Gently he laid me on the bed and quickly removed his clothes and lay beside me. You are so soft, he said. I thought that I would never hold you like this again. I can't let that happen. Tina, I love you, he said, kissing me before I had a chance to say anything. It's been so long, too long. He pressed his body upon mine. We lay there for what seemed like forever, caressing each other's body until our bodies became one. We wrapped ourselves around each other tightly, moving as one until we could move no more. My entire body tingled in ecstasy as I lay in his arms. Readers, let's stop right there. That's enough for you guys for this Friday. We'll chat again on the next episode. Have you guys a great weekend. It is Friday after all. Take care.